Testing. Hot outbound count. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hear? Lower your right shoulder. Go!
The Honeymooners Podcast. The only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you Georges of the world? You are listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fatts.
Now, if there's any other suggestion or anything, yes, Mr. Monahan, hello. Oh, yes, Riley. Right. Yes, I'll be right down. Now, be sure you have everything set up. Yes, I can only spare you 10 minutes, all right? Right.
the only podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record at the Non-Productive Studios at 328 Chauncey Street in Brooklyn, Bensonhurst,
Brooklyn.
It's very dusty in this hallway, folks.
This guy's at Clifton, New Jersey.
Dusty in this hall. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review. Our home base is Non-Productive.com /honeymooners. And don't forget to like our Honeymooners Podcast Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. And if you want to leave us a voicemail, call 240-442-2635 and email us at...
Oh, that's me. That was my cue. You didn't point at me.
Sorry.
Bangzoom1956 at Gmail.
Yes. And also, if you want to support us, you can go to our Patreon. If you just go to the website, click on any episode, there'll be a link for the Patreon, and you can give the usual buck.
Put you down for the usual buck.
Put you down for the usual buck or two, whatever it is, just to support us. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel, I put all the Honeymooners things on there. So if you go to YouTube, and if you just look up Joe Conti comedian, you should be able to find it.
Joe's YouTube.
It's a handsome picture of me at 12 years old.
Very handsome.
So, Lou, what's going on?
Joe, number 81.
Yes.
A lot of Hall of Famers, 81. So I just narrowed it down to 3 guys. We have Carl Eller from the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Purple People Eaters.
Yes.
Carl, I loved Carl.
He was a defensive
end.
That's when they still, they had a couple defensive ends with the number 80 and 81.
Yeah, the 81s.
Right?
Yeah. That was back in the day. He played next to Alan Page.
Oh, okay.
On that line.
And also, what's his name, who ran the Marshall?
Jim Marshall.
Right.
Yeah, not Mr. Marshall.
Not Mr.
Jim Marshall.
Yes, not Mr. Marshall.
Mr. Marshall.
Marshall.
Marshall. Art Monk.
Yes, the New York Jet.
Yeah,
I mean, all right, so he only came there to cash in a little check at the end. Yeah,
and then we have our last one, Dick Night Train Lane, played in the 50s, the early 60s.
Was he a receiver?
He was actually a DB, wearing 81.
Oh, really?
But but he played end a little bit too. But he was actually a defensive back.
Very nice.
Night Train Lane.
Nice.
Who got his nickname all Hall of Famers got his nickname from a favorite song of his, Night Train.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to listen to Night Train, listen to the Louis Prima version. It's the best version of Night Train.
I don't know that.
If you heard it, you would probably recognize it. Great song, but you got to listen to Louis Prima.
Okay.
First, so.
All right. Very good.
All right. That's enough culture for us, right?
All right. Well, first of all, we have to
get back to who we really are.
Yeah.
Uncultured.
The animals that we are. But first of all, before we even get started, we want to talk about our wonderful sponsor, Silk City Hot Sauce.
Yes.
Go to silkcityhotsauce.com, right? Get yourself some great homemade hot sauce. It's
the most delicious you've ever tasted in your life.
Absolutely. It is so great.
I've never tasted anything like it before.
You just can't. And it's homemade.
How can this harm you? It's homemade, pal.
Of course. And when you go to silkcityhotsauce.com, get yourself some great hot sauce. Mm-hmm. Get I love the Slurp, which is great. Mango Madness. Mm-hmm. Louis likes the Aztec.
Aztec Attack. Badass Jew.
Yep.
I had another one this weekend. I can't remember the name of it. It was hot something. Obviously.
It's hot something. He's actually Kingfish Levinsky.
Oh,
It's our
yeah,
pal, Jeff
yeah.
Kingfish Levinsky.
Big major announcement.
Major announcement. But I'll tell you in a second. So what you do is when you go to the checkout, after you get your great homemade hot sauce, you put RX in the coupon code.
Yes.
Lets him know that you bought it from us. It helps us out a little bit. And what it does is, because of that, you get a free bottle of
Cherry Sriracha.
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't think of the word.
I apologize. Yes. So, but real quick, Kingfish texted me the other day, and he is going to be making a special hot sauce.
Yeah.
With the it's a Honeymooners themed hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks it's going to be. He said it's going to be. I think he was saying like hamina. I forgot exactly.
Was it Bang Zoom or?
Yes, I think it is. I think it's Bang Zoom, and here it is. The back. Oh, here we go. It's a limited hot sauce with a Honeymooners style label called Bang Zoom with honey and habanero. And the back label will be all the info regarding our show, so it's doubles as a promotional piece. Awesome. So how cool is that?
Oh, great announcement. We were going to have a press conference, but we decided to scrap that and just
press conference. We'd have a pressed meat conference. That would be it. But so go get yourself some great hot sauce. Jeff Kingfish Levinsky, he's one of us. He's a raccoon.
Brother raccoon.
Brother raccoon, yes, exactly. So go to SilkCityHotSauce.com, get yourself some great hot sauce, and when you put RX in the coupon code, you get 15% off your order, plus you get a free bottle of
Cherry Sriracha.
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't think of the word.
I don't care. I will beat that joke into the ground.
Play it 10 times an episode if she worked.
Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic we are. Oh man. So we got a lot. We got some cool things we want to do today.
Yeah, we got.
First off, though, we want to talk about the contest.
Yes, the contest.
We had the contest last week. And it was a fantastic turnout, and it was a great trivia question.
Yes.
It was Louis' trivia question to everyone.
Yeah.
Which of the 39 had four different sets?
Right.
And the winner was Raccoon Frank Otero, who came up with the Safety Award.
Safety Award.
But
then...
Now, wait a minute. Safety Award, if you want to explain it, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
Outside of the Gotham, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the apartment.
The apartment, of course.
And then outside in front of the apartment. And then, of course, in the mayor's office. Right. So we're like, hey,
here you go.
Cake, piece of cake, right?
Yeah, of course.
Frank Otero wins. He's going to get a T-shirt. Until we realized there were two. We messed up big time.
Which we've been known to do.
We've been known to do a few times. And so what happened was Kevin.
Yes. Hooghuis.
Hooghuis. Kevin H, I call him, because it's just easier to say. He guessed, and he said, A Man's Pride.
And we're like,
wait a minute, what? So Man's Pride is in front of Madison Square Garden. Then the apartment. Then the part that we forgot is Mr. Monahan.
That's what gave me the reading for the opening.
Yes,
that's the part.
Yes, that's the part we forgot. The Monahan, and then back to the colonnade room. So we decided we had to go with both of them because they both were right.
Yeah, both were right.
And Kevin, Kevin already talked to me. So, but anyway, so we were wrong, but there were two.
There are two.
And I'm assuming that was it because nobody else came up with anything else. No.
And
a few other guys like Ira and stuff were saying the Man's Pride, and then some guys were the Safety Award. So Frank Otero, Brother Raccoon, is winning a Honeymooners T-shirt. And if you want to get yourself a Honeymooners T-shirt,
unless he's a 2X large,
unless you're a 2X,
put down. Give me a large.
He's good. Yeah. But go to our website, go to Non-Productive.com /Honeymooners, and you can get yourself a T-shirt, Honeymooners, great Honeymooners podcast T-shirt, $20 delivered to your house. And that is our gift prize to Frank Otero.
Good job, Frank.
All righty. Two, we have two new iTunes. Little little critiques,
Critiques
the
from
little iTunes things.
Whatever you call those things.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not even going to get into it. But there's two of them from the same guy. And his name is Chris Nothing. And so he did one, and it's excellent for Honeymooners fans. And his first one is this podcast is like an add-on to the Honeymooners with new funny observations, helping the classic 39 episodes seem fresh no matter how many times you've already seen them. One of my favorite podcasts. These two guys have great chemistry when they're, quote, on the air, RX. So and then I looked, I'm like, oh, he sent another one, but it replaced the other one. I don't know how he did that. I don't know if he erased it, and it's the same thing. Excellent for Honeymooners fans. And this one, Chris Nothing says, there's only one word to describe this podcast. What is it?
Suave.
New funny observations that keep the classic 39 episodes fresh, no matter how many times you've seen them. Always good, clean fun when Joe and Louie are, quote, on the air.
Yeah.
So we thank you, pal.
Yep.
We appreciate it. 5-star, gave us a nice review.
Yes.
Thank you. And when you do that, we'll read it and give yourself some credit.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you.
Now, our next little thing is we are going to ask, because we believe that Brian Carney listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
He at least sent us a message saying that he enjoyed the podcast. Maybe he only listened to one episode.
Yep.
I don't know.
We don't know.
And I'm not going to go trying to find his house, up in Connecticut. I'm not a maniac. I'm a maniac. But I'm going to say, if Brian Carney is listening to the podcast, we would love to have a little chat with you, like an interview.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is call. We could do it right from the studio.
Yes.
And whenever you like, we'll I don't care. I could be at at my wife's friend's wedding, and I'll be like, no, 4:30. I got to go talk to Brian Carney. All right? So if you're listening, Brian, Mr. Carney, you could leave us a voicemail at our phone number, 240-442-2635. And we would love to interview
Oh, God,
him.
we would love
It'd
to
be
hear him.
just
Oh,
awesome.
man, just to hear his voice.
Oh, yeah.
Questions
just
you want to ask him.
Yeah, to ask him and him about his dad, and
Yep.
it would just be phenomenal. So, but that's our little thing now. Okay, so now
All right.
we are getting into our next little thing here, and that is the...
Hear ye, verily, hear ye.
Never gets old.
No.
The Honeymooners podcast now presents Ad Lib or Not an Ad Lib. That is the question.
And I made a mistake. That's not what we're going to do next.
You want to
but-
go with it, Joe?
No,
Okay.
I don't care.
All right.
We just got to hear that anyway.
Oh, yeah,
so
we
so we'll have
hear
to
it
play it
twice.
again. All right. So what we want to do is, our next little thing is, we want to get into the episode, which is Here Comes the Bride.
Yeah.
But we want to get into the bachelor party.
The opening scene.
The opening
It's the
scene.
opening scene.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to get into that.
Here we go. That's
because-
really the opening scene.
Yeah, it truly is. Here we go.
There we go.
Now, first, Louis. Now, when I'm looking, now I'm realizing it's almost like a dais.
It's a dais, yes.
like the roast, like the
Yeah,
old
like a Dean Martin roast, yeah.
right? Except you have the four main characters.
Main characters up
and then
front.
to the left you have three guys, and to the right it looks like two or three.
Three guys, yeah.
And it's just perfect. And one thing that you mentioned is that when they before the scene actually start talking. Art Carney whispers into Jackie Gleason's ear, and who knows? It could be like, all right, we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, nothing. Just
Yeah.
and they just start laughing because
And they start laughing
it's like
because they're-
stupid, like drunk humor,
Right,
You know,
that's they're playing up the whole thing
Yeah,
about a bunch of guys, saying dumb stuff
stupid
and all that
jokes
kind of stuff.
that aren't
Yep.
funny, but they all laugh. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Typical. Yes, it's that typical. Oh, Joe, we just said that there's 10 guys on stage.
1, 2,
Right?
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yes,
7,
3 on each
8,
side,
9.
6 and
So
4.
there is okay. So there is 3 on the right side too.
Yeah, I think there's 3
So
on the
you got
right.
10
and left.
guys.
There's 10
on stage.
people on
That's
stage.
probably as far as they could go.
Yeah.
I think that is about as much they could put up there, because look, they could have put 30 guys up
Right.
there, but to show that the Raccoons are a big organization.
organization.
But obviously they're on a stage. and-
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to
Yeah.
put all 100 members, on the stage. But it's just like the little microcosm of the Raccoon Lodge. So that's probably the most you're probably ever going to see on stage. 10, you would say?
Yeah, because
one
in
scene?
Palomine, you had, the 5 guys that came down? And then, so it's probably 6 with Norton. And then Ralph and Alice.
Right.
So you had 8.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, that was the most I have ever seen in the Classic 39, except for this.
Yeah.
This you got 10 guys.
And then maybe a regular Raccoon meeting, which probably isn't anymore. If there is, there probably wouldn't be more than 10.
Yeah, I think it was like 6. It was probably, I think it was like 3 rows. You know what? Maybe it was 3 rows of 3?
Yeah.
So maybe it was 9 plus the president. Yeah. So 10.
Yeah, so I figure maybe 10 is probably the max you'll ever see on stage.
Yeah, because then it becomes convoluted.
Yeah,
and
then
you're trying to do, in essence, you're trying to do a play.
Right. And like I was just going to say that, like you always say, it's actually a play. It's a small stage play.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here we go. This is we're going to play a little bit of we're going to play the whole Bachelor scene pretty much, and have a little fun with this. There, he's leaning into Jack, and he's laughing.
Yeah.
Quiet, please. Quiet.
Quiet.
Oh, here he is.
Oh,
Brother,
here he is.
as you know, we are gathered here for a very sad occasion. We are throwing this farewell party for one of our brothers, Brother Saxon here.
Brother Saxon.
Who tomorrow night is walking the last mile. Because tomorrow night at this time, Brother Saxon will be a married man. Now, I think it only fitting and proper that we call on Brother Saxon to say a few words now, because this may be the last time he ever has a chance to open his mouth again.
Isn't it great how they over the top laugh? We're laughing at something else. At his flub.
We're laughing at time.
At the last time, the Mets win 9-5. Right. So and you just love, and it's so much fun to watch because you're watching them be guys who are acting like children in a fun way. Childlike.
Yeah, I mean,
being very childlike.
We presume that they were imbibing, you see all the beer on the table. And
yeah, exactly.
A lot of beer.
Yep, yeah, a lot
of beer.
And I think it was at one point Norton holding the whole pitcher.
The whole pitcher when they're toasting.
And he swigged the whole pitcher.
When they toast Stanley Saxon.
That's our Carney.
Yeah.
That's our Carney. That's our Carney ad-libbing that, without a doubt.
Yes.
All right, so here we go. And now they all clap. And
Joe, before you, I want everybody listen up here because we believe there's a lot of ad-libs in this scene.
Yeah.
So try to pick them out. We may pick out a couple, and if you disagree, of course, or agree with us.
Right.
And if you find something, you may want to suggest it. But that's what we're good. Just listen for them. We think there's a few.
Yeah, we definitely feel there's a few of them. And it's like a perfect scene to have some ad-lib fun. It's meant. It's meant for ad-libs.
Oh, God.
Because there's so much stuff going on, something you can ad-lib something, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter because there's so much other things going on. It covers it up.
Oh, God, yeah, perfect description.
Absolutely. Here we go.
I know. Pale already.
Right there, I think it's.
Don't worry about him. Go ahead.
Yes, it almost like because he interrupted him.
He interrupted him.
Yeah.
He's
looking
pale
pale
already.
And let's face it, Stanley Saxon. I know it's in black and white.
Right.
You can't tell, but I'm assuming he was a pretty pale guy. I think he's a pretty pale guy.
Brother.
I know that all of you brothers must have been joking about the things you said about marriage tonight. I'm very happy.
That's because you ain't married yet. Wait till tomorrow, You are a riot.
Right there. That's got to be an ad-lib.
Yeah, that's got to be an ad-lib. Yeah, because he's like, he's hyping up the fact that his friend said something so hilarious.
And it's like these jokes aren't even funny. They're carrying
They're
on.
amusing.
Like,
you know what I mean? They're amusing at tops.
Bunch of drunk old guys, and everything you say is funny.
And they're throwing out, the old cliches.
Oh, God.
Like, hey, if you want, we can get you out of town tonight. And that's what and then Norton does.
And Norton does his poem.
All right, here we go.
Which is awful.
It's so awful. It's good. It's like watching a bad B movie.
Yes.
It's so awful. It's good.
I think it only proper that, being he's going to be a relative of mine, shortly, I should say a few words at such an occasion. Gentlemen, I am sorry to say that I feel very sad tonight.
because I am largely responsible for the predicament that he's going to be in starting tomorrow. You see, I introduced him to my sister-in-law, Agnes. So it is obviously my fault because you can see that he doesn't know what he's doing.
I'm very happy.
There you are. That proves it. He's stoned.
Now, when he said that, they meant like you're so drunk.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
with
that
different meaning of
It's
stone
a different
back
meaning
in
of
the-
stone
yeah,
back
yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's great because he's
Yeah.
basically saying you're hammered.
Yeah.
You're saying you're happy.
Yeah, you're happy.
And it just means because you're hammered.
You don't
Yes.
know.
You have no idea. All right, here we go.
Well, there is a silver lining to this cloud. However, I think that I end up with most of the silver in this cloud. You see, he's marrying my wife, Alice's sister. So therefore, he is going to have the golden opportunity of sharing that sweet, dear old mother-in-law of mine.
Oh, great.
I don't.
Oh, my. Dad.
It's just it's the quintessential Art Carney.
Yes.
Just maybe he thought of this.
Yeah.
Before in the rehearsals when they're doing their
Doing it,
rehearsals, and maybe he did it during rehearsals, and maybe the writers and everybody said you got to use that
Because Gleason probably wasn't at the rehearsal because he's like
No, of
surprised when
course
he did it.
not.
You can
Yeah.
see Gleason's face.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, actually,
he was
did
the
it-
only one that wasn't at the rehearsal.
Yeah.
He's the only one. They're all like, "Hey, Jack, we all saw this. It's not that funny."
I actually did that the other night at our softball dinner.
Did you
Oh,
really?
well, you have to. Yeah, we do it every
Yeah,
time.
you
It's
have
either
to,
me or
right.
Gil. We're
You
just
or Gil,
ding,
right.
ding, ding,
Right,
ding,
right, right.
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. But it's just so awesome. All right, here we go.
With your kind indulgence, Brother Raccoons, I'd like to propose a toast to Brother Saxon.
A toast.
Here is to you, Brother Saxon. May your life be rosy and bright. If you'll take the advice from an old married man, you will get out of town tonight.
It is pretty rotten.
It's
awful. It's so bad.
It's awful.
And they're
it's not
just
fun.
and they're howling like
Right,
it's
like
it's
they're-
Bob
like-
Hope.
yeah, like-
you know what I mean?
Like George Carlin is up there.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, I want to say something. We covered in an observation once Ralph's speech about the mother-in-law and Stanley introducing him to Stanley to his sister-in-law.
Right.
We're like saying when we went back, we're like nobody knew this. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember
When he says
we
that, and they were
covered
all
that,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
like, whoa, bro, you did that."
You did, yeah,
Yeah, like-
exactly." Like they don't know.
they
that
don't know
Agnes
that
is-
Agnes
yeah,
is Ralph's
Right,
sister-in-law,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Ralph
yeah.
introduced them.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but there's that. There's a couple things in there. I think that you're hot tonight. I think that's an ad lib.
We didn't get to that part yet.
Oh, we didn't
right?
get that part yet.
Did we not?
Oh, I thought he did.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
I thought that's what.
Is that what he said? I missed it. Hold on.
I'd like to propose a toast to Brother Saxon.
A toast.
Here is to you, Brother Saxon. May your life be rosy and bright. If you'll take the advice from an old married man, you will get out of town tonight.
I thought he says it when he does.
And now, Brother Raccoons, now that the
No,
dinner
he
and the
does it- I
cookie
think he says
smacking
when he
is
does
over,
the ding, ding,
I
ding,
propose
ding, ding,
that we
ding,
go
ding.
into the
Ralph
club
says that?
room
Ralph says it,
for
yeah.
a little entertainment.
And honestly, I would love to know what their version of entertainment was. But you know what? Then hold on. I want to. I didn't realize that he said you're hot. Tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're hot tonight.
Hold on.
I think it's with the ding, ding, ding.
Well, there is a silver
I
lining
think
to
it's
this.
before that, right?
Sorry to say that I feel.
That's because you ain't married yet. Wait till tomorrow, huh?
In his mouth again.
Fine.
I know.
Pale already.
That could be an ad lib, right?
Now let me ask you something. Do you think the actor who's playing Stanley Saxon? Do you know his name?
I don't know his name. No.
I forgot his name. Do you think he's putting on that voice a little bit?
Oh yeah, because he's
supposed to be
yeah, he's
kinda
supposed to be like
wormy,
another
mousy, as you
mouse,
said.
like Burt Wiedemeyer, mousy type, you know.
Because
he's also Pete
right
in the
Does he-
locker room scene.
Does he
and
sound like that?
No, well, I don't think he really has something to say now, but he comes across like tougher, like
Right,
I'm a
like
bus,
he's a regular
bus
guy.
driver
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah,
We
he's not-
don't know if he's a driver, he's a mechanic because he's wearing that overalls.
Yeah, and he
We
would
didn't
be a
know
mechanic, which is kind of like the complete opposite of what
Yeah,
the mousy
well,
guy
mousy
would
guy
be.
with Stanley
Right.
Saxon's going to be like. You're
Right.
not going to be fixing buses and be like some mousy, little mousy
exactly.
man there.
But I want to hear because it's almost like he puts on the voice well.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about him. Go ahead, brother.
I know that all of you brothers must have been joking about the things you said about marriage tonight. I'm very happy.
That's because you ain't married yet. Wait till tomorrow, huh?
That's great. Yeah. The president is great because when he says that, he points to him like this guy. Yeah, yeah. It's great, and we just love.
All right.
Oh yeah, you are right.
I'll tell
Okay.
you. So that's
that's where it was.
Yeah,
that,
you are right.
without a doubt. Like
Without
that's
a
just
doubt,
him,
yeah.
just ad-libbing. Just you are an absolute rock.
now. You think the first one is?
Which one?
Looks a little pale already.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. But then after that, Cliff Hall could have ad-libbed this. Don't worry about him. Go on, brother.
I think so.
So you could have a double ad-lib there.
Yes.
Cliff Hall, like really
I
chiming
think
in.
so. Yeah, chime.
Well, it's great. If that is,
Yes,
that's a
chime.
That's a feather in the cap for Cliff Hall.
I think
if he's-
so.
If he ad libs right there,
Yeah, because it makes it sound, because that's the one thing that happens sometimes in this show especially when Ralph and Alice are arguing.
Yeah.
It doesn't come off exactly like real life because you have to stop and let them say their lines.
yes.
And so when you hear that, it doesn't matter because it's the Honeymooners and it's great and we know it's television. So like Ralph will be sitting there saying something and she's waiting for him to completely finish what he
Finish
says.
what he's
and then
saying,
she
yeah.
But this is different because they're able to
Talk over each other.
like we do.
yeah, like this show. You guys are probably used to that.
Yeah, so it gives them the opportunity to be like, you go ahead, don't you worry about that, brother.
Yeah.
So I think it opens the lane for
Yeah.
them to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that half of this, maybe in rehearsal, they came up with it, and then they decided, yeah, absolutely.
So by my count, could be 4 ad libs in there. We have
Yeah.
Ralph's first thing he says to Stanley looks a little pale already.
Looks a little pale
and then,
already.
And then Mr. President, don't worry about him. Go on, brother.
Yep.
And then
Norton
with the ding,
whacking
ding, ding,
the-
whacking
yeah,
the
whacking
thing,
the things,
and
yeah.
then Ralph, you are hot. Oh, you're hot tonight.
You're a riot.
You're a riot.
Yeah.
You're right.
You're a riot.
Oh, you're right.
Absolutely. And there could be some more in there. Because it's
Oh, he
nobody else.
says, does he say, you're hot tonight? He says that too.
When does he say that?
Oh, don't go back.
Yeah, we
Don't go back.
Well, let's-
I think it only proper that.
yeah, I don't think he says, I think he just says, oh, you are a riot.
You're a riot.
Yeah. But,
No, I think he says you're hot tonight.
yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
He's going to be a relative.
No, don't play it again.
Don't play it again.
No, I don't want to hear it again. I don't want to hear it. Play Judy Connors coming in or something.
All right, if you want, we'll go over Trapped.
That's right.
All right. So, yeah, that's our little thing. And look, it's so much fun. It's, it's the raccoons. It starts off the show. The episode starts off like that. Starts off with the raccoon theme.
The raccoon theme,
Which,
so you
of
know-
course, before I started doing this show, I didn't realize it was a raccoon theme.
It's a raccoon theme, and then
But it's just great.
and they're all up there on the dais, and
You got the raccoon behind them.
Yes,
You know what
it's
I
great.
mean? It's just
great. And then
fantastic.
there's one raccoon. He's about 4'2" when he walks off.
Really?
I don't know who he is. I tried stopping the thing, and I'm not getting a clear picture of who's on the dais.
Right.
But when they get up and walk out to go look at the entertainment, there's one guy like, really? It looked like he had somebody's kid. Come here, we need you. We need a 10th raccoon. Will you come over here?
Yes,
Here,
bring your water pistol,
Here,
Tommy.
put this hat on and this big coat and walk out.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. All right, so now we're going to go and we're going to do our next little thing. And I know you guys haven't heard this in a while.
Yeah, really.
But here we go.
But you'll enjoy it.
Hear ye, verily, hear ye. The Honeymooners podcast now presents Ad Lib or Not an Ad Lib. That is the question.
So, now do you want anybody to, because for this ad lib or not ad lib, we're going to ask you guys to chime in.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. The first one we did was there was the 4. I mean, you could comment on those two.
Yeah.
In the bachelor party scene. We covered 4 or 5, whichever we have in there.
Yeah.
If you guys want to comment on that,
Yeah, or
what
even
you
just
think?
the scene itself.
In the scene
like,
itself,
what do you think?
yeah.
Just that part.
Just
the
that
part
part.
where
Just
they're
that-
just. It's a romp. It's like they're just going back and forth.
Yeah.
And, there's a certain, it's almost like they had a couple of points that they had to get across.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
To set up.
Stanley Saxon to say his thing.
Right,
The president to introduce him.
Right.
Ralph to get his thing about the silver lining and the
Yeah,
mother-in-law,
mother-
and then Norton with his little rhyme.
His
little,
rhyme,
his
his
little
then
hip-hop thing.
Yeah, then they have to. They're setting up Stanley for us to know that he's a mouse.
Correct.
So then we get introduced to Agnes.
Correct.
And we know what kind of she is. It's one of those. So anyway, let's get to our new thing here.
Yes. So this is from Funny Money.
Funny Money. One of the greats. One of the top 5. My top 5.
Yeah, without a doubt. But this is the thing. Because of the last 2 weeks and the ad-libs, the questionable ad-libs that Louis has brought up, it's opening a lot of ideas for things that I normally wouldn't have thought that could be an ad-lib. And this is one of them.
Yeah. And like say, Joe, you said before the show, we were talking about this, and you said that we don't want to use. We want questionable ad libs,
of course,
because that's what brings the fun to it.
Of course,
we don't want give me that. That's my denaturizer. I mean, we
right,
all know that.
Yeah,
we all know that.
Yeah,
we're not,
the spearfishing.
Yeah,
we know that.
We know that. These are ones that could be or couldn't be.
Yeah, and especially now that we're, it's like we're thinking differently now about the certain lines.
Yep.
Especially after the one from last week.
Yes. Oh,
God,
yeah.
Because
last
now
2 weeks have been good.
Yeah.
Oh man,
so,
they've been good. Good response from you guys.
Yeah. Well,
good
because
ideas.
even the trivia question, everybody was like, that was a brilliant trivia question. So we're in that vein here.
We're sorry we have to get you people thinking, but
oh, you are
like,
right.
You're right. Hot tonight. Ding 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 ding.
Yes. So here it is.
This
is from Funny Money.
Funny Money.
And it's when the two, quote, detectives are at the door. All right? And here we go.
I got to get out of town before they catch up with me.
Dum-dum-dum.
That's them. That's the police. There's nobody in here. Shut up. Shut up. What am I going to do, Norton? What am I going to do? Listen, do the only thing you can do. Destroy the evidence. Then they can't pin anything on you. Put it in the oven. Burn it up. I'll be right out. My wife's taking a bath in the sink.
Now it gets a giant laugh.
Oh, God.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
This is not going to be under the jokes that didn't get the love that they deserve.
This got love.
Because it's so absurd.
It's bizarre.
It's bizarre. And also because he's panicked. And at the time he's saying that, he's taking the money and throwing it in the oven.
Yeah.
So it's funny to watch him panic.
Yeah, panic. And
First of all, you're watching him move, right? And we've always talked about how big of a man he was, but how nimble he was.
Light on
so
his feet.
He's flying back and forth, and he's wearing that stupid
jacket. Yeah.
that stupid smoking jacket that looks like my aunt's floor in Jersey City from the 70s. It's an awful jacket. And when he says, my wife is taking
a bed in the sink. Now, the line is the last ad libs we've covered. The line is within itself is brilliant.
Yes,
brilliant.
Right
now, here's the question. That is the question. We have the is it or isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Because this will really get your intellectual juices flowing.
Yes.
If we have any intellectual juices out there. But think about it. What do you think, Joe? You're on the air.
You're on the air.
Oh, here he is.
Ed Norton.
Don't worry about him. Go on, brother. What do you think, Joe?
I'm going to think that it's not.
It's not. Okay.
obviously, I'm not very confident in my answer,
right,
or my opinion.
Yeah.
I just think because if you listen, when he says that, what is said afterwards?
Yeah.
Do we know what it? See, I think if we go back and we just play it and say, I'll be right there. Unless he was just supposed to say, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
And he's throwing his stuff in there.
And he's still throwing him like, I'll be right. Yeah, exactly. So you don't know. Ooh, that's another good question. Did he change the line like we say in our ad lib or not ad lib?
It's not an ad lib. He changed the
line,
line, or it's just the whole thing is an ad lib.
Yeah. So you're for what? You're saying that it's in there.
I think it's such a hilarious line that I think either I'm going to think that it was written.
Okay, you're saying it's written.
I think so.
Okay. I'm going to say now me and Joe, we don't do that fake stuff like he says one thing and I have to go the opposite. No, we don't do that stuff here. If we agree with each other, we agree. If we disagree, we disagree. I'm going to say that he altered it.
So it might have been, I'll be right there.
I'll be right there.
I'll be right there.
I'll be right there as he's throwing the money in the stove.
Right. Because it's I'm going to stick to my guns only because I don't want to sound like I'm just agreeing with you to agree with you. But there's a buildup, right?
Yeah.
It's the knocking of the door, right?
First, he's
banging on the door,
that door,
right?
yeah.
So Norton right away says there's nobody here, which is funny.
Funny.
So now you have this buildup, tension, humor, and so here's my question to you: if he didn't say that, if he just said, "I'll be right there," do you feel that there's something missing? Not just because we always know it, but do you feel it's something that there's something missing?
We know it. That's the
problem.
That's the hard part.
Right.
Now.
It's like saying,
would
would we like this in color instead of black and white?
Yeah.
All we know is black and white.
We only know it's black and white.
That's why everybody says black and white.
Black and white.
But would it be different? Do you think that without that line, there's an empty spot? Almost like, man, there's something that should have been there. See, I don't know.
But I don't know. But then if he says, I'll be right there, does it become like you're concentrating more on the physicality of the joke?
Right.
Of him throwing the money.
And the absurdity, don't forget, of throwing the money and putting it in the oven.
And lighting it on fire.
Like we're not even thinking of that. Like he's burning money in his house.
At his house, yeah.
Yeah.
Actual fire. This is an actual fire. Okay?
Exactly.
So he's burning that. So
right.
Does the attention go to that, to the physicality of the scene that going to keep the people
right,
focused on the scene
and enjoying the humor aspect of that,
of the physical humor.
With the tension of the bad guys
coming in. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm still sticking to my guns. I think he altered the line.
So maybe it was just I'll be right there.
I'll be right there. Yeah, I'll be right there.
Which, like you said, is a good. It's not a good line in a sense, but it's a good spot to have that. Obviously,
yeah, because it's filling in. It's filling in the time from the stove to the door,
right,
and then letting them in. But I'm gonna say he altered that line. There was something there.
So maybe it wasn't that there wasn't supposed to be anything there. It was supposed to be I'll be right there.
I'll be right there, or something on that order.
Watching him throw money in there.
And he decides to say this line. My wife's taking a bath in the sink. Like just the thought of it is so absurd and so funny. It's such a funny line.
Oh my God, that is.
Oh, I think,
dude, that could be if we ever do like our top, like maybe we could do that one day, like our top lines of like top funny lines from Ralph.
Yeah,
because as we know, Ralph didn't always get the greatest lines.
No, he did. He was like the feeder. He was
also the reactor.
The reactor and the brunt of
most of the jokes.
Somebody else's line.
We said it that not in this episode, but Here Comes the Bride was one of his top episodes of him with getting the great lines.
Yes.
Remember we talked about how he was on fire.
Yes, he was.
On Here Comes the Bride. Like he just delivered
Yep.
all of it perfectly, and he had so many great funny lines, and he delivered them amazing.
He basically had all the funny lines in it.
Yes,
basically. I know Norton had a couple, but not normally the Norton lines. That was Ralph, and we discussed that.
So we were wondering maybe that might be a good idea. We can maybe do our top 5 top Ralph lines.
Ralph lines, yeah.
Because most of the time, Ralph's physical attributes or his reactions to something was where we get most of our laughs.
It's like, say, you laugh at his physicality a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't have to say anything.
No,
exactly. It's just,
which made the genius of Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, oh my God.
All right, so we want you guys, now how do we want it? I will put up, I'll put up a post asking about the ad lib or not ad lib from 81, and then you guys can start chiming in.
Start chiming in on both. We want your opinion on the bachelor party scene.
Okay.
And we also want the main one is my wife's taking a bath in the sink.
Okay.
And we want you to,
all right. So I'll put that on there.
Joe,
listen, episode 81. What do you guys think of our scene that we dissected and the ad lib or on ad lib?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
Wow. My wife's taking a
bath
in the sink. And if you just picture this.
While he's throwing money in an
oven. In that sink.
And it's insane.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely insane if you really think about it.
Oh, man.
All righty. Well, we're getting up to our Louie's favorite part of the show, and that is... Sorry. This is the one.
Okay.
Now, Tom, who is our first guest, please?
Herb!
Our first guest, ready to leap the first hurdle
every week.
on his way to the $99,000 answer, is our...
Courier from Parsippany, New Jersey, Joe Conti.
I want to see the expression on your face when you miss it.
That is great.
I got to say, Joe, she does the line better than I do.
She
I
really
really have
does,
to concede to her.
Yes, you have to. You got to concede to Ethel Owen. Absolutely.
The great Ethel Owen.
The great.
Everyone on the show's great. Oh, my God.
All
okay,
right.
you ready?
Yes.
And, of course, this question was prepared by?
Professor Walter Newman.
Walter Newman.
Yes.
Okay. Now, going back to the babysitter. All right, here.
Okay.
Now, according to Mr. Bartfeld, Ralph's busy on what days?
2 days? Is it 3?
3. What are they?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
No.
Wait a minute. So what does he say? He goes, call
before 6.
Before 6.
Yeah. Her husband's busy on.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays?
No. Hurry up, Mr. Conti, your time's running out.
I can only do one more guess because now I'm just going to start making, eventually I'll hit the pick 3. I play enough numbers, I'll hit the pick 3. He says, make sure you call
before 6.
Before 6.
Her husband's busy on.
I
forgot to play your TikTok music.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
To fill in. Fills in our dead air.
I'm going to.
All right, so your last guess. I'm only giving you 3. Come on.
Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
You got it.
Is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Very nice. Fridays.
Oh, no. I got a little.
Mr. Hammond.
Oh,
oops, sorry.
Okay.
Whoops.
A little bit on Mr. Bartfeld.
Okay.
It's Sid Raymond. Actor
He was Baby Huey?
Baby Huey, the voice of Baby Huey.
Okay.
But now, funny about somebody before mentioned that if we're gonna do the 39. I occasionally watch the 39. I'm not expert on 30. I'm not even expert on the 39. But
what do you mean?
The Lost episodes.
Okay.
I said 39. The Lost episodes.
Right.
Now, a character in the Lost episodes appears as also as Mr. Bartfeld. Remember when Ralph's going to buy the candy store, him and Ed?
Yes.
Okay, and it's August Gunther. He's Mr. Bartfeld.
Oh, okay.
And like, remember our one of our favorite thing, our name's the same thing that I always get Joe with?
Right.
Again,
I remember that. And his name was Bartfeld.
His name was Mr. Bartfeld.
Oh, okay.
And he owned the candy store.
Yeah, and it was
August Gunther.
And he wasn't wearing a guinea tea.
No, he wasn't no guinea tea, and he wasn't selling any donuts in the candy store. So,
Very good. Very good. That's a good question. That's a really good question.
That was it. Monday. Oh, she's very good.
Oh, she's very good.
Oh, she's very good.
Well, let's see. Who can we thank? Thanks to Silk. First of all, thank you to SilkCityHotSauce.com, right? Go to SilkCityHotSauce.com, get yourself some great hot sauce. Go to the checkout counter, put RX in the coupon code, get yourself 15% off of 15% percentage off of it.
You said that way.
Yes, I apologize.
You're not going to get it off.
I apologize. And
paying full price.
With that, you get a free bottle of cherry sriracha. And you know what they say about cherry sriracha.
There you are, roll that around your mouth.
Exactly.
Nothing else to say about cherry sriracha.
And who else can we thank? We want to thank all you guys, all you who listen, obviously, who email us, comment on Facebook, and some of you special pals, you know who you are, and you'll be getting your recognition starting next week.
Next week, yes.
Next week, we will start the recognition.
Yes. Should we announce it, or we'll keep them in suspenders? What we're going to do. I think we should.
Well, didn't we mention it?
We may have mentioned something, but we're not going to mention it now.
No, we won't mention it.
I think we should.
Yeah,
no,
we'll let them
have something to think about for a week.
Yep. And yes, and don't forget to share some of the episodes or videos with your friends on social media. That would be great to help promote the show. Also, thanks to the great Facebook group, the Honeymooners Raccoon Lodge with Joy and Brother Norton. And a quick little side note: we had right before we started, we got a voicemail, and we're going to play that voicemail next week. And it's pretty exciting. It's
it
cool.
actually is.
It's very exciting because this person is pretty much a celebrity.
Yeah.
And I know who this person is. So
and I know who he is now.
Yes.
It's not my genre.
It's not your genre, Lou. But it's pretty cool.
Because he's alive?
Yes.
All my genre are dead.
But yeah, so we're going to play his voicemail next week, and it's super cool.
Yes, it is. It is. Actually, it is.
And also check out my 1-hour comedy album called Happiness. You can get it anywhere you get your music or comedy. You can support me by purchasing it, or you can probably get it for free. But it's Joe Conti, Happiness, and that's it. Right? Mm-hmm. Episode 81.
81.
In the books. And for me and Lou, we say we'll see you next time.
Pluribus raccoonum. Night all.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.